Do I tell his wife? Before I start, I absolutely know that I've massively broken the girl code and I 100% deserve the heartache and hurt that I got. Me and one of the lads from work started talking, just as mates to start with. We ended up texting all day, every day for weeks.
Wow.
And it was more like flanter when one day he kissed me at work. Now, this boy, in your famous words, let's call him Brian, is 11 years older than me and is married. We carried on talking and whatnot. When a few months passed, we ended up sleeping together.
Stop it.
I was under no illusions that it was anything more than a fling and didn't think anything more would happen. But Brian started calling me every day.
Oh my God,
we'd meet up for coffee, walks. He'd send me photos of what he was up to on his days off. He'd buy me flowers and pay so much interest in my day and how I was doing. 4 months passed and we both got offered new jobs, and I thought that would be the end of it.
Yeah.
But Brian told me he started to get feelings and still wanted to see me. I'd see him every other week. We'd call at least twice a day. Although I knew how wrong it was, I'd really developed feelings. He told me how bad his home life was. And now looking back, what an idiot I was for believing that. Of course he'd say that. We carried on seeing each other in secret for months. I asked him one day what he saw us as, you know, where it was going, what was going to happen, etc. Brian told me he loved me, that I was the light to his darkness, and he was going to leave his wife. I told him I felt the same, but if he changed his mind to just tell me and I bow out. We went away together. We spent more and more time together. He RSVP'd to my dad's wedding. His wife moved out of their home. He started to look for another property and things seemed like they would work. I saw his wife post a photo of them on a date on social media. It was all a lie. He'd never left her, never moved out, never told her about me, never had any intention of doing anything.
So I've been with my boyfriend, let's call him Mr. Brian, for just over a year. We're both 22. Brian and his ex, Susan, split up in February 2021 and they have not spoken since. A few months into our relationship, I saw on Facebook his stepmom uploaded a picture of her and Susan with the caption, "Remember this?" Me and my friends decided to do some digging into Susan. To our surprise, we saw his stepmom, his brother, and other family members actively liking and commenting on her pictures and vice versa. A few weeks passed when, to my surprise, I see on social media his dad and stepmom were meeting Susan for a walk and a fucking coffee. So Brian brought this up to his family, saying it made both of us uncomfortable.
Thank you.
And how they should cut ties with Susan.
Thank you.
As they really had no reason to still be in contact. His family said no. They argued they can be friends with whoever they want to be.
Boyfriend got another girl's number. The other day, my boyfriend of 3 years was showing me pictures on his WhatsApp chat with his best mate. And we came across a screenshot from over a year ago, of a girl messaging my boyfriend. "Was great to meet you last night. You're cute and cheeky. You know where I am." This girl was actually saved as a contact. Let's call her Sarah.
Okay.
He sent the screenshot to his mate saying lol, and his mate asked if he would respond, to which he said no. This night out was on one bank holiday last summer where he ended up at a house party. I eventually extracted some of the truth out of him, that he got chatting to this girl at the end of the night and that exchanging numbers was an ego boost to him at a time when our relationship wasn't so good. He said they didn't kiss or anything more and he never replied to her message. He has since been incredibly apologetic and swears he will never do anything like this again. I don't know whether this should be a sackable offence. I'm in a tricky situation where my husband,
oh my God, a husband
of 3 years,
a husband,
been together for over 6 years, has, oh my God, I feel sick, has just told me he cheated on me 5 years ago. So this all came up as an ex-colleague of his is now returning to his work after some years away. And I saw a lot of flirty messages from her. One even joking about giving him a blowjob for his birthday.
Fuck off!
She left the workplace and it was old news.
Thank God.
Fast forward to now.
Oh.
5 years later, my husband told me she's returning to work. Last night, I sat him down and asked him to be 100% truthful with me and promise me that nothing really did ever happen between them and that nothing would come out the woodworks. He started to cry. And then told me that back then he'd been replying with flirty messages, and when I was working night shifts, they would Snapchat each other, even sending nudes.
Oh, you disgust me, Brian. You disgust me. That is disgusting. On Snapchat, how old are you?
Sending
pictures of his willy.
nudes on occasion.
And he's crying. He's crying to his wife. You should be embarrassed, Brian.
You should be mortified.
You freak of the week.
He showed me. I can't get
I
over
am
this.
horrified.
This is atrocious, babe.
This is atrocious.
Wow.
Brian. He's been living a life for 5 years.
He showed me he blocked her
The deceit.
after she left work and never replied to any messages she sent since.
I don't believe you, Brian.
I wanted to vomit.
Me and this boy have been dating for the past 3 to 4 months, and things seemed to be going very well.
He's a magician.
Last weekend, we had plans to go out for dinner and drinks. Since I've moved back into my parents', he told me to stay at his after for the night. Fast forward to the following Thursday, and he says he wants to plan something with me before he and I go on holiday separately. We decide on Sunday and leave it at that. Okay, so I'll see you on Sunday, leave it at that.
See you later.
And continue talking about other things. On the Saturday, before we were going out, his friends from London are up in Manchester for their birthday. And he told me where they were going and even spoke to him the Saturday whilst he was out and asked me what I was up to. I wished him a good night and thought I'd hear from him the next day, only for him to vanish. I text him the next day, asking what time, and received no response. I text him again later in the day, asking if he was okay, and still nothing. It's now Wednesday.
Fuck off.
And have not heard from him.
Recently, when we were on holiday together, I had a dream he cheated. I found this so strange. So we were having an amazing time on holiday, but I went with my gut.
It's a weird... Oh, fuck off.
And decided to go on his phone. I found that he had hidden a girl from viewing his stories. So I did some investigating into said girl. I'd noticed before that he likes all her photos on Insta, which are very explicit. She's an underwear model. As I was investigating further on his phone, I found calls between them both from January. It's now August, which were up to 2 hours long. I also found explicit images of girls on his Snapchat, which have been saved. However, no messages or any other evidence of him and the girl talking were found. So it'd obviously been deleted. I confronted him. He denied that he'd ever spoken to anyone behind my back. So I showed him the missed phone calls. He continued to say he couldn't remember.
My boyfriend wants me to sleep with other guys. So I've been with my boyfriend for a year now.
Not
with
long.
Some of that spent in long distance as I'm studying in Spain. We visited each other quite a lot, but he's back in the UK now. To keep things spicy, he suggested a few months ago that I should sleep with someone else and tell him all about it. Maybe even send some sexy Snapchats. He made it clear he had no interest in sleeping with anyone. It has been kind of a kink for ages to be made to feel competitive and jealous. So I was a bit apprehensive, as it's quite an out there thing to do. I've never really enjoyed having casual sex and love being monogamous. So this would be going against quite a lot of my instincts. Regardless, since I love him, I want to be open to his kinks. So I did end up giving it a go, which was hands down one of the wildest things I've ever done. Nothing special, but glad I tried it and hoped we'd be able to put it to bed.
Okay. I mean, good
However,
for you, girl.
It's still a desire he brings up all the time and even dreams about.
Oh my gosh.
He has started to say I'm no fun and don't excite him anymore because I'm never up for doing it. I don't really have as high as a sex drive as he does and still get quite anxious and icky feelings at the thought of sleeping with someone else.
Girls, to give you some background, I have been with my boyfriend for nearly 2 years. I am currently on holiday with my family.
Currently?
And I've just got an Insta DM from a girl that I don't know. My heart dropped when I could see the start of the message saying, "Hey girl." She then goes on to send me videos of my boyfriend's messages with her on Tinder. The messages included him asking her to go for dinner that same night, almost after, amongst other flirty chat. Once she confronted him on Tinder about having a girlfriend, he then removed her and blocked her on Insta. I couldn't believe it and felt so gutted. He immediately denied it and promised me that it wasn't him. He then showed me screenshots of his boys' group chat asking if any of them had done it. And it turns out that apparently one of the boys made the account as a laugh when he was at the pub and still had access to his Instagram account after a boys' holiday in Marbella.